Welcome, I'm Zvara, and today I'm going to go through a series to help both stretch and strengthen the obliques. The obliques are not necessarily the midline of the body, but rather the conjoining muscles next to what we're familiar with as the rectus abdominis. We have an internal oblique that's much deeper than the rectus, and then we have an external oblique that's more so along the sides of the body. It's going to be more superficial like that rectus abdominis. These are important muscles because not only are they the hoop part of the torso, more surface-wise, but also they're going to be a supporting muscle. They're going to aid in healthy digestion, they're going to aid in more support for the spine, and they're also going to help with back issues. So when we have weak obliques, we can have a slew of problems, not just with the lower body, but with the upper body as well, shoulders, rib cage, neck. So strengthening the obliques is just as important as stretching the obliques, and stretching the obliques is just as important as strengthening. It's important to not confuse a tight muscle with a strong muscle, or a weak muscle with a stretched muscle. So we're really trying to find this health and harmony and balance. And as a yoga teacher and a core expert, I find it's really important to help people understand what they're doing in the movement, how it should be done, and the value it brings to their body. There is no sense in just bringing people through a slew of movements because they think it feels good. Because honestly, it may do more harm than good, and yoga is not exempt from this. So I welcome you onto the mat today to go through a great series to help focus on strengthening and stretching the obliques and understand more about what the core is. Really briefly, we're going to go over the pelvic floor. So the pelvic floor is going to be more of the superficial tissue in the pelvic region. And if your pubis bone is the top, your sit bones are the sides, and your tailbone is the back. This would be you kind of laying sideways, so to speak. This is going to be that superficial tissue we have in the back area near the tailbone called the anal sphincter. It's actually a muscle about 2 to 3 centimeters deep. It's actually fairly large. That's going to be contraction area number 1. Contraction area number 2 is the soft tissue of what's called the perineum. Now there's lots of other little muscles within that area as well, but we're just going to focus on the perineum because 1, it's a lot easier to talk about, and 2, we're just going to try to give a name to that area. So the perineum for women is going to be the vaginal passageway, and for men it's going to be the soft tissue behind the scrotum. Women aren't able to feel the doming that happens in the perineum like men are because it's an open passageway. And thirdly, and not leastly, is going to be near the pubis bone called the urethra. And the urethra actually coordinates with the bladder. So if you ever have held yourself from going to the bathroom, that's going to be that area of contraction. Each one is equally important. So it's important not just to contract in your rectus area, or excuse me, your rectum area, and it's not just important just to contract in your urethra area. I want you to try to work through all 3 points. View some of my other videos to help walk you through that type of a contraction. But for today, I'm going to say activate the pelvic floor, and that's what I want you to be doing. And when you activate those 3 points, what's going to happen is your pelvic bowl is going to be stimulated. This is the hammock that basically holds your inner organs in place. It's going to be the bottom as well of your torso. Let's begin. What you'll need for this exercise today is going to be possibly a sandbag. I know not everyone has a sandbag, so if you have a beanbag cushion, that will work really well. If you have like a heavy blanket, or even just maybe someone nearby that they can maybe sit on your leg or stand on your leg for you a little bit, that will work too. If you don't have any sort of a heavy proper object, feel free to continue watching this video. It will not take away from the practice at all, but only enhance it. You may also need a strap, and you may also need a cushion to sit on and a chair. It may be helpful to have a chair that doesn't have arms, but if that's all you have, use what you have. We're going to start seated. Sitting cross-legged. As a rule of thumb, if your knees go higher than your hips, I want you to sit your hips up onto something. The higher the hips go, the more open the pelvis is going to be and the more comfortable you're going to be sitting. Just like in meditation, I hate for someone to be sitting like this for about 30 minutes to an hour. I want you to be open, tall, and long. Equally as important, I want you to ground through your sit bones so you feel like you have a connection point. Now lengthen upright without jarring the pelvis forward. If I turn sideways, try not to confuse length with arching, okay? I want you to think more inner body length, more back body length. This will also aid in turning on more of your true core. from a nice tall position. Inhale, bring the arms up. And just feel length dropping the shoulders. Exhale, fold. And as you fold forward, press your sitting bones down behind you so you're not just rocking forward up off of them. Let's take 3 breaths. One more breath. Now roll up, letting your head be the last thing to lift. Use your core to stack your body. Arms float up into T. Inhale. Relax your shoulders. Exhale. Drop now your right arm to the floor. I'm going to do mirror image. And rotate the shoulder to relax down so that the fold of the elbow is pointing to the right. Inhale, top arm comes up. Press down through the opposite hip as you slowly lower to the right. If you're able to get to the forearm, great. If you're not, don't be discouraged. I want you to press your palm away so you feel like you're pressing your left hip weight down. Now extend through the top arm, rotating the bicep in towards the face rather than opening it up. If your body will let you, looking up, keep the chin in. Otherwise, you're going to look down. Any neck strain, take hold of the side of the head and reach through the elbow. You may actually notice you get a better tissue stretch when you gently cradle the head and reach through the elbow. Inhale through the nose, breathe into your side waist, anchor through your thigh, and exhale through the nose. This would be a great time to use the sandbag on the opposing leg if you need to. Inhale, roll open just a little bit more, no tension, and exhale. Now inhale, extend the top arm. Exhale, rotate down to the right. Plant your hands at about shoulder's distance. Still keeping your opposite thigh anchored. If you need to, throw that sandbag on. And rotate now. Inhale, lengthen, and rotate your shoulders, working parallel with the right corners of the mat. You can use your left elbow and just anchor onto the thigh as you gently rotate. Inhale, get a little bit more length. And exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale through the nose, left hip stays down. Exhale through the nose, gently lower. We may be feeling this stretch through the lower back. We may also be feeling this stretch through the rib cage. Inhale, unwind, open, and draw yourself upright. Let's try the opposite side. Lower the palm down, relax the bottom shoulder, no cell phone holding. The fold of the elbow turns to the left, press your palm away. If you're using a sandbag, by all means, throw that sandbag onto the opposite thigh. Inhale, arm comes up, feel space between the rib and the hip. Exhale, lower down, lengthening through the top arm. Relaxing the shoulder. If you're looking up, your arm is rotating in towards your face. Stay there, just like you would in a Warrior One or a Functional Warrior One, which is what I like to teach. The arms are rotating in to keep the upper back nice and wide rather than crunching in. So we want to continue to mimic that even in this side stretch. Inhale through the nose and exhale, press through the opposing hip. Breathe. If you're a teacher and you would be doing an adjustment, you can gently kneel onto their thigh or use your hand and then help them get more length through their side torso. Inhale through the nose. You can hold onto the side of the head. Exhale, breathe space. By slightly turning my torso down or open, I can change the attachment as where I feel the stretch. For people with back pain or back issues, this is a great pose to work with and a great variation to revolved head to knee. Inhale through the nose, keep breathing, make space. Exhale through the nose. Nice job. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Inhale, really reach. Exhale, rotate down now to the left. As you plant your hands, relax the shoulders and lengthen the spine. If you're choosing to anchor the elbow gently to the thigh, create a healthy balance of pressure as you rotate. If you're someone that has a tight lower back, particularly the erectors, which run alongside the spine. They feel like one muscle, but it's actually many muscles, and possibly your quadricerebellum, sometimes abbreviated QL. It attaches at the bottom by the sacrum and up to your bottom rib. So that often feels very stiff and tight, and once that muscle becomes tight, there's not a lot of elastic-like quality in that muscle. There's not much give. So it's usually a slow process to find relief there, but we can do it. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, press through the right hip, lower but keep the length, no rounding. Inhale, keep breathing. Exhale. Inhale. Great job. Exhale, one more breath. Inhale, lots of space. Exhale. Inhale, open and rise. Exhale, hands to prayer. Wonderful job. We're going to work with the 2-to-1 ratio. So I want you to go back to your more restricted or challenged side. So within the side bend, where were you feeling you needed the more work? I'm going to stay on this side and work my left oblique. Maybe for you it's the same, maybe it's back to your right. So if you're using a sandbag, switch it over. If not, stay with me where you are. Inhale, arms open, relax the shoulders. Watch not to arch and flare. Exhale, lower, press the palm away. Create a little traction. Arm rotates into the ear. Inhale through the nose, open and create space. Exhale, relax the shoulder and breathe. Feels a little bit more willing. Create those little tiny adjustments by rolling open or closed or holding onto the head to notice where that sweet spot is. Where is it that you need to go? And breathe. The one thing we want to remember is that the pose is not enough. We need to understand what the pose is trying to do for us in order for it to really help us. All right, exhale, rotate down towards the floor. Press the palms to the mat. Inhale, lengthen as you rotate the spine. Inhale through the nose, lift your heart a little bit more. Exhale through the nose, relax your shoulders back, soften your jaw. 3 more breaths. Inhale, roll up and open. And exhale, release the arms. The 2-to-1 ratio can really help us aid in creating balance in our body, something we often talk about. But what happens is that if we always do everything symmetrically, which is really important, we're always going to have one side that's more dominant than the other. And we're really just looking for a balance within 5%. So naturally, we do have a more dominant side. But that's not to say that we don't want to create more balance. And one of the best ways we can do that is offer ourselves a 2-to-1 ratio. If you're a teacher, it's not that you have to implement this every time. I don't. Sometimes the class just doesn't allow it. But on poses I feel are really important in that particular class, I'm going to throw the 2-to-1 ratio in. Students have never been discouraged by that, but rather encouraged and feel empowered because they know they're really bringing true balance. Let's continue. Moving the sandbag. We're going to open up the legs into a straddle. Now when you're opening into a straddle, it's important not to do your super widest straddle, especially if you're someone that's really restricted. The wider you go and the more tension you bring, the less range of motion that you're going to have. I have a pretty wide straddle. I'm fairly open in my hips, so I find that I can open my legs fairly wide. Maybe that's you, maybe that's not. It has to be individual. If there's someone that is tighter, and you tend to round, the pelvis tends to shoot forward with the tailbone, I want you to get up on something. If you're using a blanket, use the corner of the blanket, so the corner of the blanket shows through between the pubis bone. That way, your body will have something to basically hinge on versus just lifting the floor. And in a straddle, just lifting the floor usually tends not to be enough. If you're using a sandbag, I'm going to welcome you to use it again. If you have someone just to come and kind of rest on your thigh for you, put pressure gently, feel free to grab them. If not, hang in there and you're going to do just great. With the legs open, flex the feet. You may find as well, that you might need a strap. And just try to feel like the hips are neutral. That means we're not sinking back or overly tilting forward. Great. With some length, inhale. Now exhale, keep that length. We're going to bend off the right knee. So right knee's going to bend, and for those that are more open in the pelvis and the lower back, bring the heel right by the pubis bone. If you're not, bring the foot more towards the inner thigh. That's going to make the rotation a little bit more accommodating, and you won't feel like you're up against so much in the posture. You're going to feel more effective. All right, lots of length. We're going to twist first. Inhale, arms open, relax the shoulders, exhale. Let's rotate, inhale, bring your left palm to your right thigh, and the opposite arm I'm going to turn for a second, stay where you are, against the spine as close as I can. So when I'm inhaling, I'm not arching my bum up off the floor, I'm keeping it down. I want the twist to be in my spine, not giving me a false positive by tilting my pelvis. That can often feel like a twist, especially if we're stiff, so pay attention to that. Lots of length. Inhale, keep your sit bones rooted, and exhale, feel the twist. Inhale, lots of length, one more time. And now arm comes up alongside the ear. Hold on to your thigh, and exhale, float towards the straight leg. Inhale through the nose, reach through the upper arm, hold on to the bottom thigh. Exhale, hug your belly, and anchor through your thigh muscle. Inhale through the nose, and exhale. Now if you want to stay here, you can. Otherwise, the arm can press right alongside the inner thigh. You can rotate the hand and hold on to the foot. But if you're someone like the average student, you might find that you don't have the flexibility quite yet. So rest your forearm onto your shin. Feel free to lift up off the elbow, just don't jar the shoulder. And rotate open. Rotate from the ribs and belly, rotate from the torso, and keep your thigh anchored. So if you're using a sandbag, throw that sandbag onto the thigh. Inhale, open, relax your shoulders. Arm rotates into the ear and reach. If you like the head hold from previous posture, feel free to stay there. Inhale through the nose, contract your front belly. Exhale through the nose. We're feeling possibly in the oblique, in the tissue of the hip, and maybe in that QL area again, in the lat area of the low back. Inhale, open the chest without flaring the arm open. Exhale through the nose, breathe. One more breath. Inhale, stretch. Now exhale, turn towards your straight leg. Either hold on to the foot, draw your chest forward, elbows wide as you lower, or you can lasso up the foot with a strap and just be where you are. Inhale through the nose. Rotate your sternum towards your thigh the best that you can. Exhale, one more breath. Inhale. Now let's roll up so there's no neck strain. Roll yourself up and exhale to center. Awesome job, you're doing great. Let's switch legs. So extend now, right leg up, bend up the left leg, square off the hips. And if you liked using that sandbag, absolutely. If you don't have it again, no worries. Lots of length, inhale, arms open, relax the shoulders, exhale. Inhale, let's rotate to the left. Watch not to lift your right hip. Keep it anchored down. You might feel like you want the sandbag on the straight leg during the twist, and that's fine. Inhale, open, feel the ribs turn open. Exhale, relax your shoulders and turn through the neck. Be careful not to jar the shoulders, but keep the upper back broad. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Arm rises, hold tightly onto your left thigh. I'm going to flip my sandbag really quick here. And slowly rotate, pressing through the head of the bent knee so you feel nice and long through the bottom shoulder. Now take your bottom ribs and open. Inhale, stretch towards the straight leg. Exhale, top arm rotates in towards the ear. Inhale, reach, keep breathing, and exhale. Now find that point within your body where you feel comfortable yet challenged. I don't want you to feel like body parts are ripping, but I want to encourage you to go for the stretch. Inhale through the nose, you can release the bottom arm at any time. Exhale through the nose. I have longer arms, so sometimes it becomes a little bit of an optical illusion that things look easier than they are. So feel free to grab onto the foot or bring the forearm on top of the thigh. Inhale through the nose, relax your top shoulder as you reach, or take hold of the side of the head, exhale. Let's go 2 more breaths. Inhale, breathe into the restriction, and exhale. Last breath, inhale. Now exhale, rotate towards the straight leg. 3 breaths, use your strap if you need to. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Last breath, inhale. exhale. Inhale, roll up. And exhale. Nice. I want you to go back again to your more restricted side. Whether this is the side that we're on, or you're going to flip over to the opposite side. Not lots of length. Inhale, arms open. Relax the shoulders. We're twisting from the bottom to the top, not just in the most mobile part of the body. So let's rotate. Inhale. Keep your opposite hip grounded. Inhale, find length and start to open so the diaphragm has space. And then exhale, just notice how the twist feels. Inhale, left or right arm lifts, and then exhale, peel over to the side. Hold on to your thigh, and at any time, release the bottom arm. Keep making space. Inhale through the nose, and exhale. Try to breathe into the restricted body part. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the nose. Some people often say they feel it in your rib cage. We have little muscles between each rib called the intercostal muscles. They're very fibrous muscles. So when we breathe more healthily into the side body, into the back body, we're working those muscles. When we do something like a lateral stretch, we're working those muscles. 2 more breaths. Stay rooted through your right hip. Relax both shoulders. Exhale, rotate towards the straight leg. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, roll up. And return to center. Awesome job. Remove the sandbag. And as you remove the sandbag, slowly work your way to kneeling. And we're going to come into a forearm plank series. So when we come into the forearm plank series, it's really important. I want you to get out of the habit of fist and palm or interlacing the fingers. When we work in this triangle pyramid style, if this was the floor, we're really trying to emphasize more pectoral use. I want you to shift the strength down into the core region, be it the rectus and transversus or the obliques of the lower back. So keeping your arms open, and better yet, palms up, we're shifting the chest open, which we need because we tend to be kyphotic, which is a rounded shoulder, and we shift the strength down into the lower body. We're going from the bottom to the top, not the top to the bottom. I'm going to turn sideways. Let's begin. Coming down to your forearms, measure off either fist to opposite elbow or wrist. Somewhere within this vicinity is about shoulder's distance. Once you've created that, either go palms face in. At that time, you can actually stick a block the long way between your hands or turn your palms up. Even that, get out of the habit of palms face down. It emphasizes that kyphotic shoulder. All right, let's step back with the feet. Step the feet all the way together. Lower your pelvis, but try not to sag the hips. Engage your legs. Knees are there because you need them. Use them. And exhale. Slightly pull up on your hip bones to get your inner core working. Now remember the pelvic floor. Pull up. Inhale through the nose. Keep breathing. Belly is strong. Push away from the mat without hunching. Exhale through the nose. Keep breathing. Inhale. And exhale. Gravity is working against us, so you need to work against gravity. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath, inhale. And then knees go down, sit back on your heels. Try to breathe into the back cavity of the body. Sit your hips way back, palms turn up. Inhale, come up, and drop to your forearms. If you need to, remeasure, step back with the feet. Find your pelvic floor, transversus and obliques. Now turn, if you're facing the same direction I am, turn your right fingertips behind your elbow and open into a side plank towards me. Nice little modified here. Modification, bring the top foot to the floor without rounding forward. Inhale, push away from the mat. Keep your obliques nice and strong. Exhale, stay open in the chest. 4 more breaths. Breathe out. If you feel really comfortable, hover the top foot, but keep the foot parallel with the floor. Inhale. Exhale, belly is strong, oblique is active. 1 more breath. Inhale. Now exhale, cross forearms and rotate to the opposite side. So now you can actually see what it looks like from the back. I'm not sinking into my bottom shoulder, I'm pushing away. Neck is in neutral, chest is open. Now if you're feeling pretty comfortable, float the top leg. Doesn't have to be high, but press away from the floor. Inhale, bottom leg is solid. Exhale, contract your bottom oblique. Inhale, and exhale. Last breath, inhale. And exhale, rotate back into forearm plank, palms in or up, hold 2 breaths. Last breath. And then knees go down, 3 breaths in Bhaktasana, devotional. Breathe, palms turn up to widen the upper back. Inhale, come up into a tabletop, and then drop to your forearms. Measure off again. Step back into forearm plank. This time we're going to do a twisted forearm plank. So keeping the belly strong, rotate your feet towards me. Either stack or stagger the feet. Keeping your chest from the ribs up, facing down. Press your hip to the sky, 5 breaths. Draw the shoulders back. Try to keep the arms even as far as weight goes. Inhale, rotate to center. Take the knees down if you need a breath. Let's go to the opposite side. Stack or stagger the feet. As you work to open the hips towards the back of the room, press away from the floor. Keep your body weight even on your forearms. Lengthen. Inhale. Keep breathing. Exhale. Anytime you feel like it's too much, take a foot to the floor. One more breath. Exhale, rotate into plank. Knees go down. This time, child's pose, arms swipe around, 3 breaths. Inhale, roll yourself up. Great job. Let's grab the chair. So come up slowly, and then grab the chair that you're going to be using for practice. Set it at the middle of the mat. And if you prefer your feet flat on the mat, then move the chair further back. For me, it doesn't really make a difference. Sit comfortably on the chair towards the back edge. And then open your feet so the ends of the chair are open. If you are a little bit shorter, I sometimes have people put their feet on blocks. That just creates a little bit more security so they don't feel like they're tiptoeing and not able to ground themselves. Just like before, try not to arch the pelvis. Really lift your whole torso evenly off the pelvic ring. Take your left hand and hold on to the right corner of the chair. Inhale, right arm comes up, relax the shoulder. We're gonna side bend here. So exhale, side bend. Allow the arm to hold firmly to the chair. You can drop the elbow on the thigh if you'd like to. And now rotate your torso open by rotating the top arm in towards the ear while holding onto the side of the head. Press down through the opposite hip. You could use your sandbag here. And exhale, keep breathing. This could be a great warm-up to the previous poses we did, or a follow-up. Maybe you do chair yoga, maybe you teach chair yoga. Feel free to work with this posture as well. Maybe you're up here, and that's okay. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose, rotate the chest open even more. Exhale through the nose, relax any tension in the shoulders. Keep the opposite hip down. Inhale. Now exhale, roll to the center, and release yourself down. You need 2 hands on blocks, otherwise let your body release, your hips can lift. Inhale, roll up, let your head be the last thing to lift. It's important to let the head follow because otherwise all of the neck muscles lift your body weight. So it's an important key tip with any time you're lifting that try to have the head trail rather than lead. All right, let's try the opposite side. Right hand holds the left side of the chair, hold securely and rotate yourself slightly. Arm comes up alongside the ear and then lengthening. Get a good healthy grip. I have a little bit longer arms, so I really have to grip down fairly far. Relax your bottom shoulder as you lengthen. Inhale, press down through your left hip. Exhale, revolve open as you reach through the top arm or cradle the head and reach through the elbow. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. I think it's important to understand that the appendages of our body, the limbs of our body, are just the gift wrap to the present. The present is the core of the body, the torso, where all the issues are, or at least where they start. So try not to get distracted with what your gift wrap is doing on your present. Inhale through the nose, keep extending, draw space. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Last breath, inhale, now slowly circle down and come to the center of the mat. Exhale, lower the head towards the floor. Really focus on your breath and try to use your breath to create a heaviness to fall towards the mat with gravity. Inhale, roll up. All right, we are going to implement the 2-to-1 ratio into the stretch category again. So if it means that your left oblique was tighter, my left, your left, then you're going to rotate to the left. If it would be the right, you're going to rotate to the right so the right oblique gets stretched. I'm going to do my left. So inhale, arm comes up, hold securely to the chair, and then fall to the side, breathe out. Relax your bottom shoulder. Inhale, we're just going to take 5 breaths here. And exhale. Inhale, keep making space. And exhale, do it with a smile. Inhale, anchor through your sitting bones, especially the opposite one. Exhale, relax your bottom shoulder. Inhale, lots of space. And exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale, roll to the center. Release the head, 3 breaths. Inhale, roll yourself up. And sit tall. Bring the legs together. Great job. So who never thought a chair could be more than just chair yoga? I want to really encourage you to reconsider your practice and why it is that you're practicing and the fundamentals that come with your practice. Yoga is only yoga if you make it yoga. Stretching is only stretching if you make it stretching. Strengthening and so on. It's the quality of how we're practicing, not what we're practicing. So as a teacher, it's really my mission and my goal to help re-educate people and their bodies towards health and happiness rather than further away. For more information, visit my website at hopezvara.com. Check out my other YouTube videos, or feel free to visit my blog for regular updates, stories, and information in regards to anatomy, healthy living, and just an all-over yogic lifestyle. From my heart to yours, from my soul to yours, thank you so much for spending time with me today. Until I hear from you again, namaste.